We return once again for the Emperor's Children Army box set. In this video, we are going to tackle the awesome Noise Marines, one of the most unique units that exists in 40k, and I feel definitely the most unique unit in this army. So I'm going to paint one up, talk a little bit about what they are and how they work. So hopefully you guys learned something and you enjoy it. Okay, so the one that I've decided to go for is the Blast Master version, which is basically the special weapon for the squad of Noise Marines. You can see he has an extended barrel on this awesome sonic weapon. Now, I told you guys when I did the first video in this series, the lore, that I was going to stick to the purple and gold scheme. That was going to be my personal scheme for my Emperor's Children army. But then I did the scheme, or the video, sorry, where I did the 3 alternate schemes. And the pink one just turned out so well, and I enjoyed it so much that I've actually decided to shift my entire tact, and that's the color scheme that I'm going to go for my Emperor's Children. Hence why this Noise Marine will now be painted in that awesome scheme. Okay, so let's dive in and find out what a Noise Marine actually is. So, Noise Marines are heretic Astartes warriors devoted to Slaanesh, who crave greater discordant oral experiences and employ esoteric sonic weaponry in battle. That's a lot of crazy words, and I think roughly translated means they like crazy loud music, sounds, things that can hurt the eardrums or shake the bones. And they like to play around with a lot of crazy weaponry which does that. Think of dubstep as a violent musical instrument / weaponry, and you're somewhere along the right mark. Let's have a quick look at what makes them stand out to a normal Marine. So, most Noise Marines have had their auditory senses carved open and rearranged by eldritch surgery, with additional organs grafted into place that have empiric or xenos origins. Other Noise Marines have submitted to sorcerous flesh shaping or biomechanical saturation to make them increasingly sensitive to both mundane sounds and those far beyond the ordinary human hearing. Some who count themselves greatly blessed have been subjected to all these and more, including strange mutations from prolonged exposure to the warp. Seems kind of terrifying. It's not someone you want to bump into in a dark alleyway, that's for sure. So what kind of weaponry do these guys carry? So the most basic weaponry they carry is, of course, the Sonic Blasters. Bulky demon mod projection units. The weapons carried by Noise Marines are referred to by the general term of Sonic Blaster. Noise Marines use them to unleash a wave of crippling harmonics into the enemy, and they revel in the combination of clashing echoes and pain screams that reverberate back to them. Noise Marines use these with abandon, frantically changing the neural pitch and rhythmic howl of their sonic blasters through as many clashing discordant chords as possible. The rune-bound canisters that provide a sonic blaster with its ammunition contain substances that are esoteric and bizarre in equal measures. From the compressed final scream of an exploding Catan shard to the tortured spirit stones of an extended Aldari family. I mean, just think about that as a concept of ammunition. The final death scream of a Necron god is used as the ammunition for these weapons. That is absolutely insane. But that's not all a Noise Marine has to offer in the form of weaponry. They also carry Doom Sirens. A Doom Siren appears as a complex arrangement of pipes, tubes, and amplifiers that magnify the esoteric war cries of the bear into devastating short-range sonic attacks. This means that he's literally screaming at you as a weapon. And those are those 2 big speakers you see over the shoulder of this particular Marine. So let's have a quick look at the rules for Noise Marines so we can get a feel for how they actually perform on the battlefield. First of all, 6 of them gets fielded for 135 points, which I think is a rather good price for these particular models. So they have a standard kind of Space Marine stat line. They are movement 6 as per usual. They are toughness 5. They have 3+ armor save, 2 wounds, leadership 6, and 1 OC. So nothing particularly special there. So with the 6 models in the unit, of course, 4 of them will carry the standard Sonic Blaster, unless you decide to take the Sergeant with his other equipment. And 2 of them will, of course, carry the Blast Master. So to put that into perspective, the 4 Sonic Blaster wielding Marines have 3 attacks apiece, hitting on 3s, strength 5, -1, 2 damage. So they are definitely Marine killers. Now, when it comes to the 2 Blast Masters, they have the optional shots. So you can either be 3 shots Hit BS3, strength 10, minus 2 AP and 3 damage, which packs a serious wallop. Or if you're hitting something a little bit lighter, they can be 6 shots apiece, hitting on 3s, strength 6, minus 2 and 1 damage. So for 1 wound models, obviously 2 of these guys firing off 12 shots is going to be pretty devastating. That is quite a lot of firepower. It is slightly short range with the 18 inches, but that's okay. I think with the power armor and the high toughness, the multiple wounds, I think they can definitely survive getting up into close combat. Now, as an extra little bonus, they also have the Terrifying Crescendo special rule, which means in your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of these attacks. Until the start of your next shooting phase, each time a battle shock test or leadership test is taken for the enemy unit, subtract 1 from the result. So you're going to be a little bit more terrifying, and you're going to be more likely to break and run in combat or in the game because of these terrifying models. Okay, so there's a little bit about their background and lore, and a little bit about how to field them on the tabletop, points, rules, and stuff like that. I definitely think they are an auto-take in any Emperor's Children army. In fact, they're kind of the linchpin, in my opinion, to any Emperor's Children army. You decide you like Noise Marines, and then you collect Emperor's Children. They are the most quintessential unit for this army. And obviously, I think you would take as many of them as possible. So for me, when I play them, I think I will be taking 3 squads of 6 of them on the tabletop, and hopefully be dishing out quite a lot of horrific sounds and causing quite a lot of horrific damage. Okay, when it comes to painting these guys, you can see that I am taking my time, and I am very much enjoying every step I take. I have, of course, leaned into the Two Thin Coats range of paints for layering up the pink. I have fallen on the Two Thin Coats range quite a lot for many different paint schemes, and this one is no. It just gives me the result that I want to achieve. So if you want to check out Two Thin Coats range of paints, I definitely suggest you go and do that. If you are enjoying this video, please do make sure you give the video a like, ask me any questions you want in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed. Those 3 things cost you absolutely nothing, but they make a huge difference as to who sees this video and how well it's perceived. If you want to help support the channel even further, there is additional things you can do, such as checking out the Patreon and becoming a channel member over on YouTube. These 2 things are, of course, linked down below. With them, you get access to a private Discord server where you can hang out with me on a daily basis, talk about your hobby. You can participate in all different events and stuff that we host over there, painting competitions, monthly showcases, and of course, you get an extra video every single week just for you guys. So if that sounds like something that will interest you, then please do check it out, linked below. Okay, we are now obviously got our pink all in place, looking good. We are now just going to layer up a few other small areas. The Corvus Black is to highlight, of course, all the different black areas. We've already done the pink, we've already done the gold. There's not a lot else to do on this model. We have some green areas, some spot colors to do, the glowing, screaming canisters which make up the ammunition for their weapons, which we talked about earlier. Need to get painted in some sort of esoteric way. We, of course, need to finish off the basing scheme for these models, which I've decided to go for snow because I think it really complements the really pallid pink and more rich purples you get from the different schemes for this army, and I just think it works really, really well. This, for now, will bring a close to painting the Emperor's Children box set. Like I said, we have done the Lord from the box set. We have done the infantry in 3 different schemes for you guys, and now we have done a Noise Marine. So until we get our glorious hands on some of the other awesome units for this new range, such as the new plastic Fulgrim and the likes like that, then we will, of course, dive back in and continue this playlist. But what we've done so far, I think, is enough to cover all our bases. So if you are thinking about collecting the Emperor's Children, I think that the series of videos we've done so far will help you out immensely. If you disagree and you think there is something else you would like to see in video-wise for these guys, please don't hesitate to say it. The only other thing that has cropped up on me is potentially doing a very quick vehicle scheme so you guys can see how I would translate this scheme into a tank or a vehicle. If I do decide to do a vehicle, it will be in this bright, obnoxious pink scheme because I like it very much, and I will be using the Two Thin Coats range, and I will probably be using the stippling technique to build up those colors. Bit of gold trim, bit of weathering. It shouldn't be too complicated. Some transfers, of course. But if you want to see that in real time in an actual video, please do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. If enough people ask me, then I will definitely consider it and I will get stuck in. Here I am adding that snow to the base, which of course leads to the finished Noise Marine wielding the Blastmaster weapon. It's absolutely beautiful piece. It's a very striking model. It can seem a little bit intimidating from the start with how detailed it is. It's actually not that bad to paint. It does take a little bit of time with this scheme, but some of the other schemes I've shown off in the previous video are of course a lot easier to do, and you can fly through this unit with them. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're looking forward to the next video.